were the deprecations. Now let's talk about the breaking changes. So here is the list of breaking changes in Angular 15 that might require you to review and refactor parts of your Angular application. So Angular 15 supports Node.js version 14.20x, 16.13.x and 18.10x. In Angular 15, Angular no longer supports the Node.js version of 14.15 to 19x or 16.10 to 12x. Second thing is Angular 15 supports TypeScript version 4.8 or later. In Angular 15, Angular has no longer supports for TypeScript versions older than 4.8. Third is keyframes name format change, and this is going to be the big breaking change of this release. In Angular 15, keyframes names are prefied with the component's scope name. For example, it will become like this. Basically, they are going to add host my component, CMP means component I guess, underscore foo. So this change can break any TypeScript or JavaScript code that uses the name of keyframe rule. To accommodate the breaking change, you can change the component's view encapsulation to none or shared DOM, or define @keyframe rules in global style sheet such as style.css. Define @keyframes rules in your own code. So these are the basically solution if you don't want to break the application. Next thing is Angular compiler option enable IV has been removed. IV is Angular's only rendering engine now. So if you remember in the previous release in Angular 13, I used to do a lot. I used to do tsconfig.json, and there I used to add enable IV as true or false based on my application status. But now the things are different. IV is going to be the default engine now. Angular material components based on MDC. I think this is we have already discussed. In Angular Material 15, many components have been refactored to be based on the official material design components for web MDC. So for more information about breaking changes in material design component in Angular 15, you can read the documentation. I have attached the link in the description section. Basically, hardening attributes and property binding rules for iframe elements. Existing iframe instances might have security sensitive attributes applied to them as an attribute or a property binding. These security sensitive attributes can occur in a template or in a directive's host binding. Such occurrence requires an update to ensure compliance with the new and stricter rules about iframe bindings. For Angular 15, the title property is required on activated route snapshots. So the next thing is router outlet instantiates the components after change detection. So before Angular 15, during navigation, router outlet instantiated the component being activated immediately. But in Angular 15, the component is now initiated until after change detection runs. The change could affect tests that do not trigger change detection after a router navigation. For example, if your component is constructors calls router.get current navigations, this could affect production code that relies on the exact timing of the component availability. Next thing is invalid constructors for dependency injections can report compilations error. When a class inherits its constructors from a base class, the compiler can report an error when that constructor cannot be used for dependency injection purpose. So this can happen when the base class is missing an Angular decorator such as injectable or directive functions, when the constructor contains parameters that do not have an associated token such as primitive types like string. These situations used to have unexpectedly at runtime. For example, a class might be constructed without any of its constructor parameters. In Angular 15, this is reported as a compilation error. So new errors reported because of this change can be resolved by either decorating the base class from which the constructor is inherited or adding an explicit constructor to the class for which the error is reported. In Angular 15, set disabled state is always called when control value accessor is attached. You can opt out of this behavior with forms module .with config or reactive forms module .with config. That is the solution. Next thing is, so alright guys, so that's all about Angular's new features, deprecations and breaking changes. So quite a lot of stuff Angular has provided in this release, and of course it's a big release, so yeah, it was quite expected. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have learned something, and if you want me to make a video on any of the Angular's new feature released in Angular 15, please mention it in the comment section. I'll take the feedback and I'll definitely create a video on that for you guys. Alright guys, thank you. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and